Hello everyone, welcome to this new math challenge. Most of you must have heard the story of the tortoise and the hare. So basically they had a race. The hare was much faster and felt too confident. And then before reaching the finishing line, he decided to have a rest and a nap. However, the tortoise just demonstrated persistence and kept crawling and won that race. Of course, that was an educational story. In this math challenge, there is another version. So a hare and a tortoise will have a 100-meter race, and we know that the speed of the hare is 10 times of the speed of the tortoise. Even though I have to say this tortoise is exceptionally fast and probably is the fastest moving tortoise in the world. Anyway, to make it fair, there is a handicap system. So the hare will only start to run when the tortoise has already run 50 meters. And then a fox in the audience claims that the hare will never be able to catch the tortoise. His argument is about this. So when the hare reaches 50 meters mark, the tortoise has run for another 5 meters. And when the hare runs another 5 meters, the tortoise will run another 0.5 meters. And when the hare runs another 0.5 meters, the tortoise will run another 0.05 meters. So that means whenever the hare reaches the last position of the tortoise will run 10% of that distance. So that means the hare will never catch up with the tortoise. So here is the question. Firstly, do you agree with the fox? If not, can you calculate the distance from the starting line where the hare will catch up the tortoise? Okay, so please pause the video here and spend as much time as you need, and we come back for the answer. Okay, let's have a look at the answer together. So of course, we do not agree with the fox. However, what the fox said does touch a very important concept in the math, which is called the limit, when something is infinitely approaching a certain value. So actually, in the fox's mind, he had set a finishing line at the mark of the 55.555 with infinite decimal places meter. Okay? And the problem here is when the hare and the tortoise approach that position, 55.555 meter, the time segment will become less and less. So effectively, the time will stop at that point. Of course, this will not happen in the real life, and the time will keep moving forward. So you just imagine when the hare reaches 50-meter mark, and the tortoise has reached 55-meter mark. And when the tortoise runs from the 55-meter to 60-meter mark, the hare will run another 50 meters and will reach the finishing line. So that means the hare must be able to catch up the tortoise at a certain point during this race. Okay, so the next question is how to calculate this catching up distance. So actually we can borrow the knowledge of algebra to help us to solve this question. So we can set the speed of the tortoise as v. So the speed of the hare is 10v because it is 10 times of the tortoise speed. And we can also set the time for catching up as t. And then we can build up this equation. So the distance run by the hare from the starting line to the catching up position is 10vt. And the distance run by the tortoise during this period of time is equal to vt, and plus 50 because there is a 50-meter handicap. So this equation can be solved quite easily. So we just move this vt from the right side to the left side. So the 9vt is equal to 50, and the vt is equal to 50 divided by 9. The catching up distance, which is the distance moved by the hare from the starting line to the catching up position, is equal to 10vt, is equal to 10 times 50 divided by 9, is equal to 55 and 5 over 9 meters. So amazingly, this position is just the virtual finishing line in the mind of the fox. Okay, anyway, I just hope you understand and enjoy this question. Thank you very much.